and I'm back, and today I'm going to be explaining to you everything about Daycare on Day of Dragons. So Daycare only really exists on the server US1, and this is pretty much an idea that I don't really know exactly who made the idea, but pretty much it's because growing up on a PvP server is quite hard. So most players won't attack hatchlings, but some actually will. And also, it's quite hard to figure out if somebody is a juvenile or an adult, especially when they're a bit, like, older. So sometimes juvies also get attacked, because you can really only recognize them by the sound, and if they don't make any sound, then that's kind of pointless. If you're growing up as a shadow scale, most of your time should be spent being fully invisible. This is a new feature. I kind of hope they will remove full invisibility. I feel like it's really not fair. Like, you literally... nobody can see you with that. I feel like that partial invisibility was way better. But you know what? If it's here, I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna be an idiot and not use it just because of principles. And as an asset spitter, you can't do that, so it's gonna be harder, but it's still doable. So the first clans that actually, it's pretty much a clan, clans that actually take care of hatchlings and juveniles. So the first ones were the Meds and the the THB, but I don't actually know where they are. I'm guessing they're either just inactive or they disbanded. I couldn't find them anywhere. But currently, the Daycare that is mostly run by Reg and Mushy. So I luckily hatched by the river, which is pretty good because you have a food source and a water source. A water source that's not gonna go away when you become a juvenile, but it's also quite dangerous because there's a lot of hostile players around. So here you can see me preparing to eat a mushroom, and an acid spitter just runs after me like at full speed. It wasn't going after me luckily, but that was pretty interesting. And also something similar happened a few minutes later. Another acid spitter. They're just everywhere. Always keep in mind when you're drinking that the danger is everywhere. As you can see here, even a shadow scale flew. It was very close to me, you know, people are everywhere. So now I'm leaving the forest, and because I'm a shadow scale, that's fine, because I can become invisible, but as an acid spitter, it's probably better to travel at night, and also make sure that you're always ready to cloak. It's very important. But don't press the Q button twice, like I did in this scenario, because then, I mean, this acid spitter fortunately was friendly, but I wasn't actually invisible. I thought I was, but I wasn't, so I was pretty lucky there. And then I saw a beautiful painted sky. This is a new skin for the shadow scale. It's beautiful. It's pretty much nightlight. And then that beautiful dragon returned, but I think he was shooting at somebody. I'm guessing maybe the acid spitters? When you're traveling with a shadow scale, it's quite problematic to actually get to the Daycare if nobody's gonna pick you up, because you can't actually ask for them to pick you up, but you can also travel there if you want by yourself. And acid spitter is a bit, I'm pretty sure hunger and thirst kind of go down the same, but with the shadow scale, the hunger goes down faster, so that's kind of usually a problem. So the Daycare is located near the center of the map. The coordinates are 55 south and 1 east. Pretty much with acid spitters, it's way easier to cover ground because they can run way faster and their stamina goes down slower. And I finally made it! Hatchlings and juveniles playing everywhere, somebody's even swimming. It's nice, everybody's welcoming me. Ah, it was a beautiful feeling. It pretty much felt like a PvE server. It was nice, nobody could harm you. But then I actually saw somebody murdering a hatchling. I'm really hoping this was just a scenario of sometimes, you know, hatchlings ask, hey, can you kill me? Because, like, you're not happy with the skin or the stats that you got, which is fine, but I hope that was the case and it wasn't just a dragon murdering somebody. Another great thing of Daycare is that the guardians are gonna bring you food, and I think like sometimes it can happen that they don't bring it soon enough, but mostly there will be food, you don't have to worry about it. So in this scenario, my hunger was dangerously high. I did not want to die, so when they did bring food, I ate it. I don't care who else needed it, I needed it more. I saw that somebody else was asking for food before me, but sorry about that. I had to prioritize my own life. And I was still hungry, so I had to go hunt by myself, so that's what I did. And I noticed, like, nobody even brought food even when I was hunting, so I would have probably died there. But when I did return, they did bring food, and I could just continue with the nice and easy life of a hatchling. Just eat, drink, and sleep. Eat, drink, and sleep until you grow up, and then you can fly around and harass people. So I just became became a juvenile and I saw 2 other juvies, so we started singing. It was very fun, we were just singing around. Then a little bit later, one of them started shooting, so I joined the fireworks. We felt so brave in the center of the map, even though there was nobody there. But we wanted to announce to everybody that we're here and we were just having fun and felt so safe for some reason. So pretty much the plasma blast of the shadow scale juvenile and the adult sounds the same, so there's no sound different. They're really the only way to recognize a juvenile from an adult if they're not side by side is by the sound. By the sounds they make, not the blast. So pretty much our shooting actually did scare somebody in the chat. Like, somebody was like, are you friendly? Like, I don't think you're friendly. We had to explain, like, yeah, we're just juveniles messing around, having fun, no big deal. We were just messing around, having fun, and then I actually heard a decaying bite, which pretty much is an acid spitter attack that they can use because, you know, the shadow scale has the cloak ability and the acid spitters have the decay attack, and it pretty much drains out your whole stamina in 30 seconds, and it takes another 30 seconds for it to start recovering, so it's a very bad attack. So if you can, you should fly away from that immediately, but if you can't fly away, then you should just become invisible. I tried to warn everybody else, but I don't think anybody even noticed. If you fly after you were actually bitten, your stamina will go down so quickly, and you probably won't be able to get very far. I was able to escape, but because of this attack, actually somebody died from starvation because I'm pretty sure like one guardian had to escape, so the person couldn't bring food in time, so somebody died. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it did do some impact. And I just have to comment this sunrise, like, oh my god, it's beautiful. This game is, like, not the most developed yet. It has only 2 types of dragons. There will be more in the future. Currently, there's only 2. There's not that much to do, really. It's only surviving, and I guess daycare as well is this is what was kind of interesting to me. But the graphics are something that I have to say are beautiful. The animations of dragons are quite realistic. The areas are quite realistic. The systems are trying to be as realistic as possible. And it's a beautiful scenario. So I'm also almost an adult, and I really had nothing better to do right now. There's really not much to do in the game, unfortunately, even though the game is great. It just doesn't have much right now. I just decided to stay as a guardian this time, so obviously my Bloodline E dragon won't really do much compared to like a Bloodline A clan or even an elder. But you know what? I could do stuff. I could bring bugs. And I can obviously also protect from any potential attacks. And then I actually saw somebody asking to get adopted, pretty much to get like for somebody to take care of them, and I told them to come in the daycare. So they pretty much asked me if I could pick them up, and you already saw that like the journey to the daycare is quite dangerous, so I decided to go pick them up. So if you ever decide to do this service to somebody to go pick them up, never do it in global chat, because it's very likely that somebody will go there and kill the hatchling, or kill you. So you should invite the person to the group, and then you can chat like where nobody can see. Pretty much you need to press O and then click on the create group button. And you can see from all the players which one do you want to invite. So the person I'm trying to invite is not visible, which means they made their status offline. It's pretty much the button in the bottom left corner, and the green color is for online and with no color is offline. And you can also change your status by typing /online. So I checked again, the person was actually there, and a few minutes later I received the coordinates and went to go pick them up. They weren't actually far away. Soon I saw their name on the screen, which means I was close. Then I saw the message that they typed, and they said they were close to being able to fly, which means they're much bigger than a hatchling. So they pretty much in this update kind of changed things, because before you could like carry pretty much like things that you would think like, oh, you would not be able to carry this juvenile, but you could. But now they pretty much fixed that, and you can't carry too big of a dragon. And when it's like a dead body, you can actually carry way more, which I think is quite realistic. So this person just a moment ago became a juvenile, which means I cannot carry them around. So you have to be at least 1/3 juvie to be able to fly. So if you ever really want like a pickup, you're gonna have to be a hatchling for that. So I knew that like, oh, we would have to actually walk to the daycare. So I decided to go hunt for one more bug and then we would get going. Also, what makes it worse is they decided to start doing the threaten like sound that you can make, which is a big no-no if you don't want to fight. I obviously told them to not do that, and also I gave them the bug, they ate it, and I ate the leftovers so we wouldn't be hungry. So now one dragon appeared. I was really like, I was quite nervous. I was like, please be friendly, please be friendly. I made the friendly sound, they made the friendly sound, yay, we're not gonna die today. So turns out that was actually Evelyn from the Mushy clan. She's actually one of the daycare guardians, which means we were in luck. So she actually left, but then I realized, I should have asked her, does she want to help me with like, you know, bringing this juvenile to the daycare. So on the way to the big tree, the juvie just stopped for a second and like left the group. I could see like the message that he left the group. I don't know what happened. I never actually found out what the hell happened. I'm guessing maybe their like game crashed or their internet went out or something, but they weren't there. So Pepsi, if you're watching this, please tell me now, are you fine? Did you become an adult? I don't know, why did you disappear? So I went back to the daycare and I kind of felt like kind of empty because I didn't do my first mission. I mean, it wasn't my fault, but it still kind of felt bad. So I went there the following day, nothing interesting happened. When I returned the third day, there was nobody there. Somebody did respond, but I don't think anybody was there right now. So yeah, keep in mind, daycare isn't always there. So this was a pretty interesting scenario. So I ate a bug, I drank water, and I was just waiting, like I was hoping that the daycare would start eventually so I would have something to do. And then something very strange happened. So then suddenly an acid spitter appeared close to me. This probably was like a guardian because he logged out in the middle of the daycare. That made sense, but I was completely invisible and I thought, yep, I'm fine. So I was gonna write hi. I don't know what I was doing. I couldn't type it fast enough. Pretty much he just attacked me. I don't how. I was fully invisible. This made no sense to me. So I had to get in the air ASAP. Oh, I hate when you don't manage to fly in the first moment. It's so annoying, and my stamina was going down so fast. So my only really hope was to land on the rock because, you know, acid spitters can't get there. And I was really, I should have been more precise. I thought I was fine. I thought I was above the rock, but it's trickier than you think, because like you would think that I was above the rock, but I stopped too early, so I had to dive to gain some speed, but I gained too much speed and I got hurt. And that's not the problem. I was still alive, but I was bleeding, and when you're bleeding, you can still die. And guess what? I died, and I was so angry, because this made no sense, and it was even worse because the player, how did he know I was there? I was fully cloaked. I was completely invisible. That, I don't know, but I figured it out. And also I saw later when I watched the recording that I didn't type hi fast enough. I typed hi only after they actually bit me, so I don't know what I was doing. So I heard about the render bug, which pretty much enables you to see fully invisible players for a brief moment, but I don't think that was it. That pretty much only works from like a bigger distance, but we were very close, which means that that was not the case. So I went on my server with my dad and tried to recreate the scenario because I really wanted to find out how the hell did this happen. So here's how it looked like, and pretty much as you can see, for a brief moment, the shadow scale was completely visible, and then became partially invisible, and then only became fully invisible way after. So you can now see it in slow motion. You can see the shadow scale, you can see it partially cloaked, and only later, it's fully invisible. I don't really like the feature of being fully invisible, but I still want it to work as advertised. If you tell me, hey, you can be fully invisible, I'ma use it if it's already there. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I can't use it. I know this was a pretty, like, weird bug and very, very specific, but see, there are scenarios in which you're literally gonna die because of such a super specific bug, but it's still possible. So yeah, that would be pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!